Welcome to Crucial Minds. In this video, we'll uncover some fascinating idioms that will help you speak English with greater fluency and confidence. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and be sure to press the bell icon so you never miss our updates. Let's get started. Idiom: take the bull's horn. Meaning of the idiom: to face a difficult situation bravely and deal with it head-on. Let's see an example. The manager took the bull's horns and handled the crisis successfully. Here is another example. Instead of avoiding the problem, he took the bull's horns. Another one: she decided to take the bull's horns and solve the issue once and for all. Idiom: jump on the bandwagon. Meaning of the idiom: to start doing something popular because everyone else is doing it. Let's see an example. Many people bought the stock just to jump on the bandwagon. Here is another example. I don't like the game, I'm just jumping on the bandwagon. Another one: she started using the app only because everyone jumped on the bandwagon. Idiom: sallow your pride. Meaning of the idiom: to do something humiliating or difficult in order to achieve a good result. Let's see an example. He had to swallow his pride and ask for help. Here is another example. She swallowed her pride and apologized to her friend. Another one: sometimes, you need to swallow your pride to move forward. Idiom: extend an olive branch. Meaning of the idiom: to make peace or offer friendship, especially after a disagreement. Let's see an example. After the argument, he decided to extend an olive branch. Here is another example. The company extended an olive branch to its dissatisfied customers. Another one: she always tries to extend an olive branch first. Idiom: on the dot. Meaning of the idiom: exactly at the scheduled or promised time, right on time. Let's see an example. The train arrived on the dot at 10 a.m. Here is another example. She is always on the dot with her deadlines. Another one: let's start the meeting at 9 a.m. on the dot. Idiom: none of your beeswax. Meaning of the idiom: it means it's none of your business. Let's see an example. How much you earn. None of your beeswax. Here is another example. Why are you going there? None of your beeswax. Another one: it's my personal life, so none of your beeswax. Idiom: cut corners. Meaning of the idiom: to do something in the easiest, fastest, or cheapest way, often with less care or quality. Let's see an example. The contractor cut corners to save money, but the building had many problems later. Here is another example. If you cut corners on your study today, you'll face difficulties tomorrow. Another one: we should never cut corners when it comes to safety. Idiom: call it a day. Meaning of the idiom: to stop working or doing something for the day. Let's see an example. We have worked hard all day, let's call it a day. Here is another example. It's getting late, I think we should call it a day. Another one: there is no point continuing, let's call it a day. Idiom: cut the Gordian knot. Meaning of the idiom: to solve a difficult problem in a decisive and direct way. Let's see an example. Instead of endless meetings, the manager cut the Gordian knot by making a clear decision. Here is another example. The engineer cut the Gordian knot and fixed the system with a brilliant workaround. Another one: when negotiations failed, the leader cut the Gordian knot and took action. Idiom, take with a grain of salt. Meaning of the idiom, to believe something, but not completely or without doubt. Let's see an example. He says he will call tomorrow, I'll take it with a grain of salt. Here is another example. The website claims easy money. Take it with a grain of salt. Another one, they promised quick results, so I took it with a grain of salt. Meaning of the idiom. To do or say something to start a conversation, in an awkward or uncomfortable situation. Let's see an example. He told a joke to break the ice during the meeting. Here is another example. The host asked a fun question to break the ice among the guests. Another one. A friendly smile can help break the ice in new situation. Next idiom. Speak of the devil. Meaning of the idiom. When you talk about someone, and that person suddenly appears. Let's see an example. I was just speaking of the devil, and here comes Rahul. Here is another example. You were talking about your teacher, and speak of the devil, she walks in. Another one. We were discussing the match, and speak of the devil, the captain joins us. Next idiom. Pull someone's leg. Meaning of the idiom. Pull someone's leg means to joke with someone in a friendly way, not to be serious. Let's see an example. Don't be upset, I was just pulling your leg. Here is another example. He told me he won the lottery, but I knew he was pulling my leg. Another one. She said she could speak 5 languages fluently, she was just pulling our leg. Next idiom. In the doghouse. Meaning of the idiom. To be in trouble or angry with someone because of something they did wrong. When to use. Use this idiom when someone is upset with you and not talking to you or being cold. Let's see an example. I forgot our anniversary and now I'm in the doghouse. Here is another example. He didn't finish his homework, so now he's in the doghouse. Another one. She stayed out late without telling her parents and is definitely in the doghouse now. Next idiom. A bee in your bonnet. Meaning of the idiom. To be annoyed or obsessed about something, often for no good reason. It's that little thought that keeps buzzing in your mind. Let's see an example. He has a bee in his bonnet about people being late. Here is another example. Don't get a bee in your bonnet about such small things. Another one. She's got a bee in her bonnet and can't stop talking about it. Next idiom. Flogging a dead horse. Meaning of the idiom. To continue doing something that is useless and pointless. Stop wasting time and energy on something that won't work. Let's see an example. We've explained it so many times. Stop flogging a dead horse. Here is another example. The project is cancelled. There is no use flogging a dead horse. Another one. Arguing with him now is just flogging a dead horse. Next idiom. Hit the nail on the head. Meaning of the idiom. To say or do exactly the right thing, be completely correct. Let's see an example. Your explanation of the topic hit the nail on the head. Here is another example. The report hit the nail on the head about the company's problem. Another one. You hit the nail on the head with your suggestion. Next idiom. Knock it off. Meaning of the idiom. To stop doing something annoying, unacceptable or wrong. Let's see an example. That's enough, knock it off right now. You are disturbing everyone. Here is another example. He knocked it off when the teacher walked in. Another one. Just knock it off and apologize. Next idiom. Throw in the towel. Meaning of the idiom. To give up or admit defeat because you cannot win. Let's see an example. After failing so far behind, the team threw in the towel. Here is another example. I knew I couldn't finish the marathon, so I threw in the towel. Another one. He tried hard, but eventually threw in the towel. Next idiom. Go down in flames. Meaning of the idiom. To fail completely and dramatically. Let's see an example. The launch event went down in flames due to poor planning. Here is another example. The business idea went down in flames after the bad reviews. Another one. The negotiation went down in flames when both sides refused to compromise. Thanks for watching. More videos are on the way, so stay subscribed and keep updated. Have a wonderful day.